Today I wanted to talk about independence and connection and how those two things can coexist together. I feel like sometimes we can get a little bit lost in this all or nothing mentality, and I'm speaking from my own experience when I say this. This is something I've been trying to change or work on lately, knowing that two things can be true at the same time, and that not everything in life is black and white, as I said. This is a subject that I've been thinking a lot about recently, especially because of how this kind of hyper independence is some sort of trend now, at least on my side of the internet, and what I've been noticing recently. And I think it's great and it's wonderful that we value our independence and that we're fully aware that we can do things on our own when we don't have anyone to come with us, or this kind of trend going on of like, okay, if there's no one to do it alone. I feel like I live by it and I fully support it, but I've been thinking a lot about the difference between independence and hyper independence, and how maybe having a more radical point of view about that subject can sometimes push meaningful connections away, or the opportunity for a connection. I feel like now we live in a world that constantly tells us, do it alone, you don't need anyone, just depend on yourself. And while independence is important, I think that maybe there might be something getting lost in that message. Personally, for a big part of my life, I've been, especially when I was younger, might be some very cliche, but I always felt different, like I didn't fit in. So I feel like a big part of my life I grew up as kind of a loner. You could say I learned how to be on my own, and that made me be a very independent person, you could say. Because of that, I didn't feel like I needed anyone. Maybe I got used to it, I learned how to live with it, and I feel like I got used to be a very independent person, find strength within myself, and I feel like it makes you very strong, makes you be very brave, knowing that you can stand up for yourself, mainly knowing that you don't need anyone else to get the things you want or to do the things you want to do. But there came a point of my life where I noticed that instead of helping me grow, which at the beginning of course it's always important to learn to do things on your own. At some point, if you are too focused on that, it can be a little restraining maybe, and instead of helping you grow, make your life smaller. And let me explain why. In my case, I love the freedom that being independent brought to my life, but at the same time, later on, I learned how beautiful it is to share with friends and with people you love. Of course, at the beginning, it took a lot of active effort to learn how to adapt to other people. You could say timing, or like to adapt to be with other people, really, when you spend most of your life alone. So it takes effort at the beginning to say, okay, instead of like going to this solo date at this coffee shop or doing this thing or this other thing alone, I'm going to invite a friend and do this and that. It might require some effort at the beginning, but at the end of the day, when you create these beautiful intimate connections, you notice how meaningful and important they are in your life. And there's so much beauty in knowing that, okay, yes, I'm strong and I'm independent to do the things I want on my own if I don't have anyone else. But also, if I have the opportunity to have this connection with someone else, I'm not going to throw it away. And recently I've been thinking a lot about this difference, about the independence and hyper independence, because there's this difference between saying, okay, I'm able to do this on my own, and I'm also able to share it with others, and with pushing people away because of the need of being independent, feeling like you need to prove it to others or to yourself, or maybe as a defense mechanism. I don't know, but let's dive deeper into that. So to begin with that, I would like to see the difference with maybe the concepts. So independence is knowing that you can stand on your own, that you can, for example, go to a concert alone, travel alone, eat out alone, and you are going to be okay. But now hyper independence is different. It's when you push people away on purpose because you are afraid that letting them in will make you weak, and that's not freedom, it's fear, wearing a mask. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about the hidden cost, because sure, hyper-independence can feel safe. You don't risk heartbreak if you don't let anyone close, but safety has a cost, because if your heart is never out there, You're not just avoiding pain, but also avoiding love, avoiding joy. And I don't think that's really freedom. To me, love is about putting your heart out there, even if it breaks. Because even when it breaks, it means that you felt something. And feeling, even if it's pain, is better than not feeling anything at all. And this relates a lot with how we see self-love nowadays, because sometimes we confuse self-love with shutting people out. And self-love is beautiful, it's essential, but it's not meant to replace the love we give and receive from others. True self-love makes you more open to connection, not less. Because love doesn't make you smaller, it actually gives you more capacity to love others and receive love, because you're not loving from emptiness, but from fullness. Now, the thing about love is that it's the only endless resource we have. No matter how much we give, we never run out of it. Even if you give it to people who don't appreciate it, it's never wasted, and you still have more. You move on, but you don't regret it, because love is never wasted. Love always comes back in different forms, and that's the beauty of it. We carry so much love inside of us, for ourselves and for others, that we can allow both at the same time, giving and receiving, and that way we live so much fuller. Life is so much fuller. Now, how can all of this coexist? For me, real strength is balance. I can go alone if I have to or if I want to, but I also welcome love and connection when it's there, because life is more meaningful when we share it. Being independent doesn't mean closing the door to others, it means knowing you'll be okay either way. So maybe you can ask yourself, am I being independent or am I being avoidant? Am I closing doors that could lead to beautiful moments, or am I allowing myself to both stand strong on my own and open up to love? So to conclude, I think that independence and connection can coexist, and in a world that tells us that we have to choose, maybe the real strength is in knowing that we don't. Maybe the real courage is in putting your heart out there, even if it breaks, knowing that love is never wasted, it's never ending, and it's this endless resource that it always multiplies. And that's how we live fully, that's how we stay human. So remember, it doesn't have to be black and white, it doesn't have to be one or the other. I think there's beauty in seeing it this way, and seeing that you don't have to choose between one or the other, but it can coexist all together. And that's how life gets so much richer and fuller. So yeah, I think that's mainly what I wanted to talk about today. I hope it was helpful to someone. I hope you maybe were able to see something in a different perspective, or maybe feel a little bit seen by this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now.